Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I am so glad you've stopped by. Today, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the WetNWild Spongebob collection. We've got the entire PR kit here, so we've got the full collection. So if you'd like to take a little trip to Bikini Bottom and have fun with me with a capital F, then stay exactly where you are. Keep doing exactly what you're doing and keep on watching. Now, like I said before, this box is the PR kit bundle. I did order this off Amazon because at first it was the only place it showed that it was available, and it was available there to pre-order before any other website, but I seemed to get it much later than a lot of the other retailers that supplied it. So I don't know how that worked. Maybe it was just because it was the PR kit and the full bundle rather than just individual products. But either way, it was $51.55. Normal price shows at $69.99, but it has 26% off beside it right now on Amazon. I don't know why, but it does. And I've only seen pictures of the products within the box so far. So let's see what it actually looks like inside. I've been so excited to open this box. I've had it for like 4 days now. Okay, here we go. Here's the reveal. Are you ready? Blam! So before I take everything out of this box, let's go over what's in it and the pricing. So first we've got the Nautical Nonsense palette, the star of the show, if you will. And the palette by itself is $33.98. A little pricey for WetNWild, in my opinion. However, I guess it is a special edition palette, so that's gotta stand for something. Then we've got count them, three makeup sponges, a Spongebob makeup sponge, a Patrick makeup sponge, and a Squidward makeup sponge. The Squidward sponge is $14.65, the Patrick sponge is $14.40, and the Spongebob sponge is $11. I guess Spongebob isn't as valuable as the other character sponges. Then we have the Krabby Patty sponge and brush cleaning pads. That is adorable. I love that. And this is $8.99. Then the Spongebob highlighter is $5.99. Then we've got the sponge case for $14.99. The Sandy Round Kabuki brush for $8.99. Then the Spongebob flat Kabuki brush for $11.65. Then there's the Gary the Snail Soap Suds Sponge and Brush Cleaner. That one is $17.90. And lastly, we've got the 2 setting and primer spray. We've got the FUN Purifying Setting Mist for $8.99. Then the BFF Hydrating and Brightening Primer Mist. And that one is $18.99. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take everything out of the box so that we can start to use it. Oh, before I do though, I just realized there's artwork on the inside of the box and it's so fun. We've got a Patrick-oline. Finally got everything open. Now it's time for business. I'm gonna open the palette first so that we can swatch it, but I want to show you guys close up what it looks like before I do that. But all in all, this palette very much so resembles what Bikini Bottom would be in my mind as a color story. You've got all the corally tones, not like the color coral, but the item coral. You've got some dusty, sandy tones, a little bit of grunge, but also some really intense looking like fish scale shimmers. So I'm really excited to get into this. I'm really excited to swatch it and see what it's like. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, let you see the palette up close, then zoom you in even further, and we're gonna get started on swatches. So this is what the palette's component actually looks like up close, and you can see those 2 top shades, how they kind of have that rainbow over them. I really thought that was the eyeshadow, but in fact, it is not. I love the little flowers and the jellyfish all pressed into the pan. There's a Krabby Patty in it. It's just adorable. I love it. Now let's see these swatches. The first shade is the shade Mayonnaise. Next is One Eternity Later. Tartar Sauce. Shady Shoals. Bikini Bottom. Aye aye, Captain. Sea Star. Best Day Ever. Square Pants. Pretty Patty. Jellyfish Jam. Gary Bear. Howdy, y'all. Me money. Order up. Absorb the love. Load of barnacles. Secret formula. And there we have it. There's every single swatch from the WetNWild X Spongebob Nautical Nonsense eyeshadow palette. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And lastly, here's our video close-up of all of the swatches. Got my eyes primed with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02, so now I'm going to go in using the Morphe M518 Big Giant Fluffy Brush, and of course I'm going to go in with the shade Pretty Patty to begin with. Just starting out with a bright orange sounds amazingly fantastic, and why not, you know? It's springtime, it's the perfect time to use bright colors. And I'm just going to start packing the shade all over the upper crease. Got some pretty decent pigment just starting out. I did notice while trying to build up some of the swatches with some of these lighter shades, it did take quite a while to build some of them up, but it definitely seems with a tacky base, they build up a whole lot faster. I mean, this is just 2 dips into the pan and it's pretty much full opacity. They're so cute, they look like little devil horns. Now I'm going to use the Dalton Transition Transformer brush, and I'm going to use the shade One Eternity Later, and that shade is going to go right on the inner corner crease area. Don't know yet if I'm going to cut the crease. I'm not sure 100%, so I'm just going to kind of build it, assuming I am, and I can go from there. That color looks just like sand or like dust, and it sort of pairs perfectly with the orange. This is one of those shades that would be gorgeous spread out just all over the crease. Throw one of those glitters or shimmers all over the lid, maybe a wing liner, blow it out really big, boom, you're done. I feel like I always choose the same sort of shape and style for my eye looks, but as long as the colors are different, I'm still satisfied. Are you guys still satisfied? Do you hate the wing shape that I do? Are you okay with it? Is it fine for you? Now I'm just going to take a clean Morphe M456 brush, and I'm going to use those bristles to sort of blow out this brown shade in the inner corner, just to sort of soften the line that it's got. Make it not look so much of a cutout kind of look. More of blended into my skin tone. With the inner corner now filled in, I'm going to use the Morphe M514 brush, another fluffy brush, except this time I'm going to go into the shade Sea Star, the really pretty pink shade here, and I'm going to start blending out the orange with the pink. And hopefully the pink is not darker than the orange so it doesn't look completely ridiculous, but we're going to find out together. So I've discovered with this shade, luckily, that it starts out pretty sheer, so I really didn't have to worry about the tapping the excess off, then blending it out. In fact, I've gone in multiple times now and just really packed it on and built it up. So with these matte shades, I really don't think you have to worry about it being way too opaque and dramatic to begin with. Take that for what you will, you know? Whatever you choose to do with that information is up to you entirely. Gotta admit, I'm sort of really loving this whole tropical fantasy sandy beach vibe. It's very bright and pretty. So unfortunately, when it comes to the matte shades in this palette, I've used just about all of them now. There are only 3 left, and one of them is a sequin shade. The other one is very close to the inner corner color that I used. Here is the color that I used. Here's the color that's in the palette. So they're very, very close. One's just a little more peachy, I suppose. So to deepen things up, there's really 2 choices. Maybe just one, not sure yet. Gary Bear and Secret Formula are the 2 deepest shades in the palette. Secret Formula looks like it's gonna be perfect to deepen this crease up with, but it's very dark. And I don't know how the purple's gonna work with the orange. And then Gary Bear, the more lavendery, cool-toned, grapey shade, has a bunch of glitter in it because it's a sequin shade. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna try both shades. I'm gonna use Gary Bear toward the inner corner crease area to deepen things up, then Secret Formula on the outer crease area to deepen things up. So to begin, I'm gonna start with the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS6 brush. It's another fluffy blending brush, but it is flatter than the rounded brushes I've been using. And I'm gonna begin with the shade Secret Formula. Again, tapping off the excess just so it's not too dramatic, way too fast. And I'm just gonna start putting it in the outer portion of the crease. I'm not gonna take it any further than halfway in. That's where I'll start to transition in with the second shade. Wow, that so easily turned into a very soft, cool, sort of grungy brown by mixing with that orange, and that's kind of perfect. That could work with any look. Okay, well, we're in business now. Just taking it really easy with this shade, building it up super slow. I'm also gonna start to pull it out and into the wing shape, just like the orange and the pink. I think I'm happy with how the crease has been built so far. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'll decide when I'm done if I like it or not. But for now, I am going to go ahead and cut the crease. So I'm going to go off camera and do that. I'll be right back and I'll see you guys in just a second. Crease is cut. It is now time for some shimmer in my life. Desperately. So I'm going to use the Morphe M421, little bitty flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Spongebob. And this is such a gorgeous yellow shade, like a yellow gold. And I'm going to use this shade right on the inner corner of the cut crease. Okay, change of plans. That brush is really not working. So I'm gonna try this Dalton Detailed Dazzler brush instead. It's still a flat brush, but it's got a lot more bristles that aren't an even line at the end versus this brush being like a perfect oval. I'm gonna try to break some of the shimmer pigment with this brush, and maybe I can pick up a little bit more and apply it. That is so much better. Oh my gosh. I love this shade. I feel like I'm putting liquid SpongeBob on my eye. That's really cute. I like that. It's bright, it's poppin'. I love it. And then using my Morphe X Jeffree Star JS10 brush, which is another flat brush, but it's also kind of not so flat and perfect at the end of it. I'm gonna go into the shade Best Day Ever here, the beautiful green right by Square Pants, and I'm gonna blend Square Pants into Best Day Ever. That one doesn't seem nearly as foiled as Best Day Ever was, but it's still very pretty. Ah, look at that green, it's so pretty. It kind of matches my shirt too, which I love. And now, last for the lid, I'm gonna take this Morphe M124 flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Bikini Bottom. And this shade is gonna just go right on the outer corner of the lid / cut crease. I'm gonna blend it into the green just a little bit as it goes along the lid. And then I'll go back in with the brush that I used for the purple shade and just kind of clean up that crease area. Now before I disappear and come back looking all extra beautiful and stuff or whatever, here's the difference between a wet Spongebob sponge, sorry Patrick sponge, and the dry Spongebob and Squidward sponge. It looks like it almost doubles in size. So now I'm gonna use this fat little sponge, get all my face makeup done, and I'll be right back. I was getting the fallout cleaned up from my under eye and kind of shaping up the look, and I realized I completely forgot to go into the Bff Priming Spray since it is technically a primer, so we should definitely do that. This is the Bff Best Friends Forever Hydrating and Brightening Primer Mist. Doesn't look magic, it looks like just an ordinary clear setting spray. However, it's actually beautiful. That is really pretty. So I need that all over my face, like right now. And let's see if it makes me look ridiculous or shimmery and pretty. Oh, that spray nozzle is so nice. That smells so good. It smells like Redken shampoo and conditioner. Oh, it's just micro glitter. A bunch of tiny little itty bitty specks of micro glitter, which actually is perfect for this look because that gold and that green, all kinds of fallout all over the face. So this is perfect. Now that we know how the setting spray functions and smells, the whole room smells like this now, and I kind of love it. But now, officially, I'm gonna go off camera and do my face makeup. Bye! Foundation and powder are now applied, as you can probably tell. So now let's use this cute little sandy brush. I feel like this is gonna be a really good brush for like body highlighter, like hello collarbone, hello highlighter, you know? But I'm not gonna do that tonight. Tonight. It's like 11 o'clock. So I am gonna go into this WetNWild Color Icon Blush in the shade Nudist Society. And I guess just boop boop a little bit. See if I can use it as a blush brush. Wow, it's really soft. I for sure don't really like it for blush though. I just can't get a targeted enough application. Now it's time to finish off the lower lash line. I'm gonna use the same Morphe X Jeffree Star JS6 brush that I used earlier in the shade Secret Formula and go back in to the shade Secret Formula. And I'm just gonna use the tippy tip of this brush and go right along my lower lash line. I look like I got socked in the face, but that's okay because now I'm gonna use the Morphe M456 brush, the one that I was using that's just empty of pigment earlier just to blend with. And now I'm gonna use the shade Howdy Y'all, and that is the other brown shade that I said looked like the other brown shade that I used. And I'm just gonna blend out the purple with this shade. For the very final touch, I need a brow bone highlight and an inner corner pop. So I'm gonna use tartar sauce right here. And I'm not gonna spray the brush at first. I'm covered in glitter all over my face anyway. Doesn't really matter if there's some shimmer fallout. And I guess I'm just gonna go in on the inner corner and see what happens. Ooh! Oh, I'm so glad I did. Oh, that shade is beautiful. I love that. That is so cool. It's like yellow ice. At least it's not yellow snow. Whoa, it's got a lot more base pigment to it than I thought it would. I thought it was more of a white with a slight yellow shift, but it's definitely more of a yellow than anything else. It's very apparent going on top of that pink. It's also very apparent that it is absolutely stunning there. So that concludes the eye look aside from eyeliner in the waterline and some lashes or mascara. Yeah, probably just mascara today. Not really feeling like I'm in a lash mood, so let's go ahead and try out the highlighter. I almost dropped it and destroyed it. That would have been bad. Ooh, we saw the setting spray too. Let's try the setting spray first. So this one is the actual setting spray. It's the FUN Purifying Setting Mist. The other one said shake well. This one doesn't say shake, so I'm not gonna shake it. I'm just gonna spray it. That one smells like Redken shampoo too. Yeah, nothing on the Amazon listing says what the scent is, so I have no clue what it is. It just smells like Redken products. But now it is time for highlighter. Look at how beautiful this highlighter is. Let's swatch it real quick and see what she looks like. I bet it looks like that Spongebob shade in the palette. It does! It does look like the Spongebob shade in the palette. That is very golden. It almost seems a little too deep or maybe a little too pigmented to be a non-colored subtle highlighter. Probably gonna be a very apparent golden yellow highlighter, but let's put it on and see what it looks like anyway. I just really hope that this cute little brush doesn't make a stripe of highlighter. No stripe. Not really a stripe. Okay, so yes, very yellow, very, very, very yellow. However, it's also really pretty. Now that it's applied everywhere it needs to be, let's see if I can make it melt in a little bit more. Oh yeah, okay, that helps. That helps quite a bit, as a matter of fact. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes I want to glow so much you can see me from space, but I'm not in that mood right now. And that's the last product, so I'm gonna go ahead, go off camera, get something on my lips, throw a liner in the waterline, and get these lashes slicked up with some mascara, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts on the Spongebob x WetNWild collection. Okay, now I'm back with a finished look. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the look? What do you guys think of the collection? Let me know down in the comments below. You guys know that I always love to have a conversation with you. Let's talk. Let's talk about SpongeBob and my Bikini Bottom. Seriously though, would I recommend the WetNWild x SpongeBob collection? You know, for about 50 bucks, this whole collection was a pretty great bundle. However, personally, I don't think everybody needs all of the collection. I really wanted it because some of you may know already, but I'm kind of a sucker for packaging, and the PR bundle not only made me a sucker for it because the package just made me want to buy it, but also the packaging and the sort of nostalgia of the SpongeBob essence for all of it made me want to get it. I mean, a SpongeBob and Sandy brush, what's not to love? But if I break it down per product, I would say first and foremost, this palette. I think this is a must-have. Whether you like the SpongeBob theme or not, this color story is so fun and it's great for spring and summer, but there's also some deeper, more autumnal tones in here that you could roll with just a couple of these nudes here with these couple of darker, deeper mauve tones and get a really vampy look if you wanted, and you'd still be able to lighten it up a little bit with pops of highlight, essentially, with the inner corner and the brow bone. So it's fun, it's versatile. Like I said earlier, I feel like $33 for this palette is a little pricey, especially since it doesn't have a mirror in it. But I do understand that whenever there are collaborations like this, I'm pretty sure there's usually royalties that have to be paid to Nickelodeon for using the rights to SpongeBob, so I'm sure they're trying to just make up some of that cost. Obviously, I was willing to pay retail value for it, and that was fine with me, but I do think it's a little pricey, albeit worth it. Then the highlighter, I don't really recommend this one, not unless you just absolutely love yellowy gold and you don't mind something that's pretty intense and very opaque in its color. But if you don't mind that, then you can glow to the gods if you want, but you can also blend it out and get it to be a little more subtle and soft. But the WetNWild Hello Halo blush lighters, these are some beautiful highlighters, and they are more of that type of formula that you can build up and make more intense. So I personally would recommend the Hello Halos over this specific one. Then the setting sprays. I'd say if you're just gonna get one of these, I would recommend getting the Bff Hydrating and Brightening and Primer Mist, just because it's a 3-in-1. So you have multiple products that will make, well, that state they will make some changes to your skin, like the brightening and the hydrating. Then back to the brushes. Like I said before, the brushes, I really don't think they're necessary per se, but they're cute and they're fun, and why not? You know, it's just a highlighter brush and a kabuki brush. So you could really just form your own opinion on if you want a brush like that and you think it's cute, then by all means, go for it. I do really like the fact that the flat brush didn't just leave a stripe of highlighter, I could actually blend with it. So that's what makes it okay. If it just left a stripe, I wouldn't have been happy with it. Then the sponges. I'd probably, if I was only to buy one of these, I would probably just get the Patrick one because I love the standard kind of teardrop shape that most makeup sponges have. It just works for me. It's the right shape for me to get everywhere I need to get. However, that's not to say that these might not work for you. Just for me, they're not my preference and I'm probably not gonna use them, but maybe, I don't know. Then last is essentially, I'm calling it the makeup cleansing tools. So we've got the sponge holder, the Krabby Patty brush and sponge pad cleaner, and then the actual sponge and brush cleanser itself. Now, obviously I haven't used the cleanser yet, so I don't know if I could recommend it or not for how well it works, but the packaging is cute, and I like hard soap brush cleansers, so I'm okay with that. Then the sponge holder, it is really cute, and I would recommend it if you're just gonna be putting your sponges on a desk or a vanity, a table, a bathroom countertop, or whatever. But if you're gonna be taking your sponges with you in like a purse or a makeup bag, there is no way that this is gonna stay closed and keep your sponges from getting foundation or whatever all over your other stuff. With that, that is everything in this Wet n Wild SpongeBob collection. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you wanted to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.